Hi friends, welcome to Crafting and Relaxing. I'm Sarah and this is my craft room. I thought I would make a a camera facing video today, but then I thought about it and I have too much to show you. So I'm just gonna say hi, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at my Christmas and holiday stash. And it has gotten, I'm not going to say out of control, but I made a video like this last year and I'll link below. You can watch them in whichever order that you want. And maybe I'll put a card on the screen too, so you can stop right now and watch last year if you want. It's a little embarrassing how much it's grown since last year. And I'm going to approach holiday setup a little bit different. I know that there are lots of people who do every single holiday. They craft for Halloween, they do fall cards, whatever. I pretty much skip Halloween because there just isn't time. I'm too messy. I have a couple of YouTube friends that take Halloween very seriously, and I might take out a tiny little pouch, make 1 or 2 Halloween cards, and then send them on their way. And I keep it really simple, stickers, maybe not, die cutting for days kind of thing. So I do fall, and then I go right into either Christmas or winter and other holiday stuff, and I just don't mess around with Halloween. And this year, I'm gonna pack up other stuff and get it out of my craft room. Don't tell Mr. Crafting and Relaxing that we've reached the point where it doesn't fit all in one place. Because if you watch my channel, you know I'm pretty blessed with my craft room setup. But last year, I started storing my Christmas and holiday stuff in the other room in a closet. And now it's grown and grown, and I have dipped in and pulled out a 6x6 that's Christmas and a 6x6 that's fall. But other than that, I think I'm going to take a whole bunch of non-Christmas, put it in the other room in that closet, and then bring in holiday and winter so that I have space. And quite honestly, I should spend a week or 2 cleaning up before we make this transition. I think last year that would be the really smart thing to do. I'm not going to do that this year. I can only hope that I do it at the end of the Christmas crafts. This gives you an idea of how we're starting out right now. Miss Sadie is taking her nap. I'll open the sliding glass door once I'm done filming. The fountain was a little loud and I didn't think you wanted to listen to it, but she likes the heat to come in. I have this stack right here that is stuff that can go out of this room for now. It can go in the other room. And this is sort of how I made my logic. It's beachy. It's some basic gray overflow that I don't think I'll use in the next couple months on the collab. All my 6x6s, I went through and pulled out what I thought I wanted, which was only about 3 or 4 of them. None of the holiday stuff is in those. Cards that you guys have sent me, 4th of July, all kinds of great stuff. I had a ton. Look at this. I had this cute little container of red, white, and blue ephemera, and I had set it aside in my bin. And then, July got crazy for me, and I didn't find it until this month. So I guess I'm ready for next year. I'll do a July daily again. I started clearing off the counters. I'm going to use this table, which is only my 4-foot table. Interesting choice. Probably should have gone 6 foot. To set all the stuff on and to start figuring out what I want to do. Part of the reason that I'm pulling out all of my fall, Christmas, and winter in September is because I am doing a craft fair in November, as I mentioned. Never done this before, and I want to see what paper I have, all the selection. And this is my logic. So I just think that I want to look at all of my paper together, not reach into the bins and pull stuff out and then realize later that I used the cool stuff that I picked up this calendar year because it was layered on top, not the old junk underneath that I want to thin out. Make sense? Here's something I forgot to show you. So this was my stack of stuff that's going to go to the other room. And I thinned out my shelves. I have one 12x12 iris case right there that's marked autumn. And I take all of the fall, Halloween, everything and put it in there. It doesn't quite close, and I'm sure we're gonna find other stuff in these bins. So I started trying to thin these out so that I could have space to store, because otherwise, as I get Christmas and winter out, it's everywhere. And you'll see in my boxes, I try to separate winter and Christmas, and that's because I like to work by colors. It's not that I have a strong preference one way or the other. Well, you know I like blue. But if I'm pulling out red and green and working on it, I try and keep that in one area. I am so messy that I just love to be able to have a color family out. I do that for July too with red, white, and blue. These are my boxes. I believe this is it. So I have 3 iris cases that are all Christmas and winter and clearly overflow. As I brought cute things home this year, I stacked them here and they stopped fitting into the categories. See, there's a bunch of fall in there and we just lost some. If you have a fall or a winter stash of any kind, pull it out and go through it before you shop, before you start seeing ads for cute snowmen, because there is cute stuff. Did not remember I had this. Oh, I think I picked this up at a garage sale. There is cute stuff in your stash. Now, when I put my stuff away last year, I tried some new things. And I can't recall whether I showed you. I was trying to group things. So the front of this category was December dailies and general embellishments. Then I had journal cards for December daily, vintage for December daily, and then the back in here was stamps. Ooh, look, a snowman embossing folder, Happy Christmas. So actual, like what you would call tools or dies, stamps, that sort of thing. I tried to group them. It just got out of hand. I don't know exactly when this thing came into my life, but it is now full during the year. Stamps, stickers, cute 6x6s, really cute stamps, more embellishments, and more stamps. Okay. This box was completely stamps. I like to put all of the like items together so that I can lay them out, and some really cute embellishments. Let's pull that layer off the top so that I can lay out all the stamps and see what I have together for a couple of reasons. You know, I love these old personal stamp exchange ones. I end up with duplicates sometimes because I'm collecting the same brand all the time, or I like, you know, stamps with joy in them. So laying them out, thinning out the duplicates, but also it helps me figure out what I have the supplies to make, right? This is a brand new stamp to me, and I might want to see all the options so I can figure it out. I did come to my senses and put out another table, don't worry. Now this was stacked on top of these iris cases in the closet, which causes a bit of a craft-a-lanch down the back, but I checked. And here I have all sorts of cute goodness. Oh, Andrea picked this up for me during the year. It's owls in winter scenes with snowflakes. And there's quite a bit of yellow, which is probably going to be fun with blue. Look at this. Echo Park Winter for $7. I mean, you can't not buy that, even if you told yourself you have too much. I'm not sure what my plan was with the black tissue. These are just some wrapping paper scraps, some tags that showed up in another thing, in another video and haven't been sorted in yet. And same thing, we cut those in a different video. So after I turn off the camera, in a perfect world, okay, I will sort everything. Now, when I sort my blues, I pay attention to if it says Merry Christmas in it. If it says Merry Christmas, I still put it in the Christmas category. It might be like a subcategory because I don't necessarily use those papers to make cards for people at work or for people who I don't know their beliefs. But if it's just all blue goodness, look at this sparkling snow. How did I survive before I had you guys to tell me about gorgeous paper out there in the world that I didn't know? I wouldn't know about this if it wasn't for my wonderful subscribers. So I put all the blue together, and then I have a lot of loose sheets, and I might also have subcategories of, I was planning to make a journal page with this. I mean, how cute would this be, right? In a December daily. You'd probably trim the length a little, but you'd have this on a page, and then the back's really nice. So I'll group things by color and also what my intentions are. I might put these on some cardstock and then put them in I'm going to cut next to the couch. I apply all the same things that I do throughout the year to my holiday and Christmas stash, and I'll put other things away. Let's see what's in this box, for goodness. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. Okay, so this says winter collections on it, but it clearly has a layer of fall on the top because it got too full. So this is cute, fun leftover stuff. These are note cards that go with a collection. I thought these would be great in journal pockets. I haven't opened them up to see all the way, but I think that's what those are going to be. Leftover cards from last year. When it gets too late in the year, I take the ones that I know aren't going to sell or get used, and I just put them in with the holiday and catch them later. I did the same thing with some fall cards this year. So when I pulled out my autumn bin, the one that I actually had labeled autumn, they were all right on top. And here you can see, it's just wonderful goodness. It's stuff that I knew I wouldn't use during the year. Now, had I gotten around to actually doing Christmas in July like I planned this year, I would have pulled these out, and I probably wouldn't have pulled out all the bins. I probably would have just pulled out, maybe a Christmas pad or a blue pad and made some fun stuff. Now, some of these things you've seen, but you just get an idea of how I put them away. I try, when I put them away, to have some organization to keep the little scraps and things separate. In a perfect world, I would pack every one of these and have all the embellishments together. But what happens is I think I'm done, and then I think I'm done, and then I find some more, and then I find some more. Because by January, I will have Christmas embellishments mixed into every area of my craft room. Good stuff. Ooh, this was one I picked up from Crafty Eileen at her garage sale, close to my heart. And then I have a whole bunch of Echo Park, and they're similar colors, so you can mix and match out of the collections. I've got a Photo Play Happy Hanukkah in here. See, so this bin is pretty much not Christmas, except for some stuff that was on the top of it mixed in. Snow angels for authentique. So much. So what I do is I just start looking at it. It's super inspiring. Shop in your own stash first, because otherwise it grows exponentially. Speaking of which, this box right here, this is Tuesday morning and a bunch of other things where I ended up picking up bits of collections that went together. So I have tons of my mind's eye in this mint kind of color Christmas grouping. This one feels like leftovers from a journal. Clearly I've gotten off track from my system. Sometimes I have the best of intentions for sorting. I know those of you who are super organized are dying. This piece of paper stumps me a little bit because if I make a journal page, I might trim it down. Santa would make a great pocket front though, so something to think about there. I don't know how this came into my life. I'm thinking it was from a friend or in a big bin of some sort. It's the pre-glittered paper. That was pretty trendy a few years back, and I'm still a firm believer in the pre-glittered and the pre-embossed papers. I don't know why we don't do that more. So you can see my mind's eye in the 6x6s. Oh, that's funny. I'm already working on this pad for this year. So maybe I'll just take this one and put it in there and start and try and smash 2 in a month. I don't know, but that's interesting. That's why I have to go through my stash. Very Merry. This is one that Noni picked up at Tuesday morning and then she didn't want it. 36 sheets. All of these. And see, these are very Christmassy. Santa, trees, all kinds of stuff in here. I mentioned that I'm doing the craft fair. Keep in mind that when you are selling or giving to people who they're not crafters like us, they do not know or care if this is 3 years ago's collection or if it's the current year. They're not going to pay more for the newest one. Let me tell you a secret. They don't even know the difference between Cartabella and a paper from Michaels. I know, it's crazy, but I'm just saying, keep that in mind when you're making for craft fairs or, for other people. They're not, ooh, look at that one. They're just not going to get excited about paper like we do. That will be adorable. So, as I go through, I'm going to think about that. And I'm probably going to take a lot of the scraps and miscellaneous stuff and put it in piles and make, oh look, I had some cards started and got sidetracked, and make some tags and such out of that. I thought the gift tags were a really good idea. I have lots and lots of stickers. As crafters, we have so much fun making our own embellishments, die cutting and adding ink to our die cuts or embossing or whatever. If you get really experienced in crafting, you probably don't use stickers as much as you once did. You might still buy them. They might still make you smile, but you might not actually use them. And chipboard, I don't use chipboard a lot, but tags would be a great place to use it, wouldn't it? Because you're not mailing them. They're on packages or bags, that kind of thing. So people would be excited for the dimension, and it gets it out of my life. I do have probably a lot of Christmas chipboard. So you can see I have more and more stuff down here, and you'll see duplicates. Like this paper, we already saw it was sitting on the top of a bin. I like this one to make embellishments with. So I haven't chopped it up to make cards or journal pages. Okay, this is a paper that Noni bought a group of, so a whole bunch of it. And a whole other bin of Christmas. I'm a little embarrassed, you guys. I think it's probably good that I'm doing a craft fair. It's in a very small town, so I probably won't clear out tons and tons, but you know, it's a good idea. And what I'm going to do is I expect traditional Christmas to sell much better there than, probably better than winter, probably much better than Hanukkah, that kind of stuff. Plus, I have a lot of it, don't I? So I think it would be good for a blue lover like me to focus on using up some of the red and green. I said in a recent video that I didn't think my journals would sell there. I think to some extent that's true. I find that we're crafters. We have all these trends. We do July dailies and gratitude journals. Other people don't really understand what those journals are for. I may take and sell journals, but I won't probably do a great job selling art journals. That's what I meant. So like I have the one that's made out of the pool liner and some just really cool things, but I don't think they will sell there. These are cute, aren't they? Okay, now here's an example. When we talk about like paper hoarding and sharing and what you would use, I am going to use this to make something for me or for you guys. People who would get it and be like, oh my gosh, that's that gorgeous graphic 45 collection for Let It Snow. People at craft fairs probably aren't going to share my joy. They're not going to admire it like we would. I don't know if we're going to go through one by one because Mr. Crafting and Relaxing is trying to walk around and do something. But this one is Cartabella Home for Christmas. So again, this makes the most luscious journal because this paper has such a great texture. This is probably, I have a bin that's not Christmas or holiday that says collections for me. As I sort Christmas and holiday, these are special. These are plan the project and think about it, and it's okay if I hoard them for another year or two. I'd be fine with that. So just kind of keep that in mind. And for me, it has nothing to do with what I paid for them. I mean, maybe a little, but more than anything, it has to do with how much joy they will bring me. Like, okay, here's a great example. This paper does not make my heart sing. It's okay. It's American Crafts. I'm pretty sure Noni picked it up when she was still buying tons of patterned paper. It has potential, but does it make my heart sing? Like these two? No. Here we saw the 6x6 and then this one's the 12x12. So there's potential to make journals, journal pages, and then cute little embellishments with the 6x6 because you have the smaller scale. You could use the 12x12 to make a journal cover and the 6x6 to make a mini journal, all kinds of potential. Here's more of that, my mind's eye. I had two collections, Cozy Christmas and something else, and tons of it. And there's a little bit of glitter on this paper too. It's kind of cute, really. The 6x6s usually don't have the glitter, but these 12x12s do. Can you see it? That one has it on circles, and then there were trees and cars and packages that were glitter. Now, I don't get into the vintagey Christmas either. That's not really the look I go for. So I might be super happy using up this Very Merry Christmas, which seems to be a partial. And this one doesn't make my heart sing too much either. Oh, okay. And we know where I stand on pink. Now, when you're trying to figure out what's going to sell, I don't know if non-traditional colors are going to sell well, but I do know this demographic, they're probably going to like pink. And I'm not excited about this. I would not be excited to sit down and write a dozen of these cards and mail them out to you guys. Plus, wouldn't you freak out if you got a card from me that was pink? So I think this one would go at the top of my, I should use that. I should have been sorting them all the way through, right? Use, keep, hoard forever. I think we've been through, we peeked in this one. We didn't take it apart one by one, but we looked in it. See, there's all kinds of good stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on Christmas for right now. It's all going to be a focus of red and green and getting the red and green embellishments, laying them all out. And then I'm going to take those other piles, don't tell him, into the other room and put them away and see if I can get this counter cleaned off and maybe get this cleaned up and start thinking about what I'm going to make for Christmas and winter. And this is my logic. This craft fair is November 12th, which is super early for me. If you've watched me, one year I posted December dailies in my Etsy store the first week in December. So I'm not exactly a super organized, get ahead of the curve. I do know that I only had one gratitude journal in my Etsy store and it just sold. So I'll probably take some fall cards to the show. But if I take journals, I think they'll be Christmas or other. There's my stash. It gives you an idea. We're not going to go through all these embellishments, but you can see this is how I do it. I put the washi tapes that are just Christmas and all the snowflakes and all of that stuff together because I'm just not organized enough to keep it out. And if I mixed it into the drawer with the other embellishments or other sequins, I just wouldn't find them. I wouldn't know that I have all these cool snowflake embellishments and neat things to work with. Some of these, like there's silver swirls in there, sure, I maybe would have used those for something else during the year, but this system works for me. I even have tissue paper with snowflakes. Store things however works for you, and I hope that November 12th, I say, yep, this was a good idea, but today it feels like a big mess. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're taking time for crafting and relaxing. Bye-bye.